disappointments with going through this whole pandemic is there's talk about over sanitation, wearing masks, social distancing. There's nothing about your immune system.
And by the way, the case fatality rate in Africa is 0.1. And that may be, and those are all black people, by the way.
Yeah.
But the difference between Africa and here is that hydroxychloroquine can be gotten over the counter, and everybody takes it for malaria.
Yeah. And there's more sun exposure
I'm not
there.
saying that's why, because that's a correlation. It's not causation, but it's something that we ought to be studying.
Sure.
We don't know, like you said, we don't really know what Bill Gates' heart is, but there are red flags when you see how much money he's funneling into all these different organizations.
And the infrastructure that he's creating, the infrastructure that he's invested in chips, dermal microchips, that's not a conspiracy theory. He put $23 million into just one company. He paid for a huge study at MIT. This is public record. He's talked about it for years.
Yeah.
And then his investment in 5G and in wireless is all, which he said, his company says that their ambition is to be able to look at every square inch of the planet every hour of the day.
Wow.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Well, it's interesting you say that because, again, another area that's receiving a lot of backlash and censorship is the discussion and questioning of 5G. So what is the big deal about it? Well, here's a quick look at some of the growing concerns about this developing technology.
There's a revolution on the way. It's the 5G revolution. Although some say this will be more like an experiment that will affect billions of people. 5G stands for fifth generation mobile services. The internet will be faster than ever. Downloading a high-definition movie will take mere seconds. By 2025, the European Commission is planning for all urban areas across the continent to have seamless 5G coverage. This will enable a new age in the Internet of Things. Smart driverless cars and smart hospitals, smart fridges, coffee makers, and even baby diapers. But what citizens are not told is that for this to happen, countless new antennas will be added. In our neighborhoods, our workplaces, even in our homes. Are mobile communications dangerous? The scientific community is divided. Some experts maintain they are safe, others have serious concerns. In 2011, the WHO classified electromagnetic fields associated with cell phones as possibly carcinogenic to humans. And studies published in 2018 showed that when rats were exposed to such fields, it increased their risk of certain types of cancer. Even among those who believe the technology is safe, many admit that more studies are needed. And for 5G, there are almost no studies. Telecom companies themselves have noted that electromagnetic signals may pose health risks. So why are the EU Commission and our governments turning a blind eye? They cite guidelines established by transnational scientific bodies. But Investigate Europe has found that these bodies are closed clubs. People with dissenting opinions are not invited in. And a significant number of the scientists involved have received funding from companies with vested interests in the 5G rollout. There is no risk-free society. Other things we consume are also bad for our health, from alcohol to junk food. But if you don't want a hamburger, you can simply avoid hamburgers. With 5G, there is no opt-out.
Okay, Robert, so help us for people who don't know what 5G is. Is there a real genuine concern here?
Yeah, this is a nightmare. This is the apocalypse.
Wow.
And there's no question that 5G is harmful, and there are thousands and thousands, and that's not hyperbole. There are well over 10,000 studies that document its harm, that it destroys cell structure, it's an endocrine disruptor. It destroys and makes permeable the blood-brain barrier. It causes cancer. It causes DNA damage. There's a $29 million study that was just completed by NIH where they said it clearly causes cell damage, causes DNA damage, and causes cancer. But it causes all kinds of other problems that are very, very well documented. Why do we need 5G? And this is, I think, the scary part. You see the ads on TV, and we're going to bring you 5G. All of these big telecom companies, and you're sitting there saying, that sounds great. That's going to really be good. But think about it. What is it doing for you? It's going to allow you to download your video game in 6 seconds rather than, 16. It's not for you. It's what they set up there, what Bill Gates calls the Internet of Things. You have all these smart devices that you're surrounded with that are monitoring you all the time. It could be your microwave oven, it could be your garage door opener, it could be the Siri on your cell phone.
Yes.
Just listening to your conversations all day, or the Alexas in your house. So all that data, every conversation you have in your house is all going to be mined. It's going to be sent. Bill Gates is building a huge city, an analytics center in Arizona that is going to be completely devoted to harvesting and monetizing the data that he steals from you. And they're going to know everything about you. And then the next stage is digital currency. And you can see, and your viewers can see, they're already trying to get rid of the coins.
Yes.
Right.
They're saying there's a shortage.
And that is the ultimate power play, because here's how it's going to work. They get rid of the coins, they get rid of the currency. Every transaction you have, you buy a piece of gum, they will know about everything, which means they can tax it. The bank will take money on every transaction, and they will know everything about you. And if you disobey, they can shut off your chip and shut off your digital currency and starve you. And they will be able to demand and enforce compliance on every human being. And that is what 5G is about. It is about data mining, and it is about control. And it is horrendously dangerous. There are people who are getting sick all over the country from it. I actually had somebody come into my house because I know so much about it right now that it scares the heck out of me. And to armor certain rooms in my house to make sure that it can't penetrate those rooms so I have a place to sleep and replenish my brain. But we are poisoning an entire generation of children with this technology. In Israel, they have banned Wi-Fi and cell phones in the lower grades to protect children's brains and their health. And they have these incredible studies, really frightening studies from Europe, where they put a cell phone next to a rat's brain. Also, they've done it with humans for only 10 seconds. And their EEGs on a child does not return to normal for 12 hours. Wow. And so this is doing cellular damage to us. The Russians have now recommended and may soon enforce a ban. The Russians know more about this than anybody. And a lot of the papers have come out of Russia because they were ahead of the world on it. And they're scared. The levels of Wi-Fi ionized radiation that they allow in their country is 1,000 times less than the levels that we allow that are all around us all day long in this country. And it's something that we all ought to be concerned about.
Us being in television, having so many television stations, we have always known you don't want to live close to TV towers. Where, there's a place here in Dallas where you have probably 20 or 30 TV towers, and you know that you don't want to live close to those. And we've known that for years.
There are fire departments that have sued telecom all over the country to take the towers off of the firehouses because it was damaging. It was causing, mood swings and depression and strange behavior among the people who are working close by.
So is there anything quickly, about 1 minute, we can do with 5G as far as here in America and the fact that we don't want towers all over everywhere in our neighborhoods?
Well, there's limited capacity. Like if your localities have a capacity to design statutes that at least can minimize, maybe move them away from schools, et cetera. And if you call Children's Health Defense, we can help you design those statutes or provide you model legislation. And, people should come to our website, and if they're interested, support our litigation against FCC, because that could change everything.
Yeah.
Has 5G gone up in our country yet?
It's going up right now, and during the COVID epidemic, when everybody was locked in, Telecom was putting it on every block around the country, and they no longer use the big towers. They use these little towers that are invisible, basically invisible. So you have to know what they look like, but they're now, if you go for a walk around your neighborhood and you know what they look like, you will see them everywhere.
Is there any way we can figure out if there's any near us? Or
Yeah, well, if you go to our website, we'll tell you what they look like.
Good, thank you.
And then you can go for a walk and you're going to see them.
All right. Well, you know, we've heard about end times, and
Oh,
the
my
Bible
goodness.
talks about this. Definitely kind of fits
Form is
in
coming in.
with all of this.